U.S. President Donald Trump has ruled out easing of sanctions on North Korea, saying that South Korea will not lift sanctions on Pyongyang without U.S. approval. Trump made the statement after South Korea said that it was considering easing its own sanctions against the North to encourage its denuclearization. Washington has encouraged its allies to maintain sanctions on North Korea as part of Trump's maximum pressure campaign. Seoul has also said the U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo expressed discontent with an inter-Korean military pact reached last month. The U.S. and North Korean leaders reached a vague denuclearization agreement during a summit in Singapore in June. However, Pyongyang says that Washington has betrayed the spirit of the summit by making unilateral demands on the complete and irreversible denuclearization while putting the sanctions in place. Jason Unruhe is a political commentator who joins us from Ontario. Do you think that the U.S. president, or U.S. I should say administration, the parties that are involved in these talks, are hindering progress when it comes to perhaps South Korea that seems to hold the key in maybe solving this denuclearization issue?
Well, I certainly think that there is the U.S. holding back the entire negotiations. I think that South Korea has made it very clear that what they want to do is give a concession to the DPRK first, to give a gesture of goodwill, and then hopefully the DPRK will respond by carrying out part of their end of the agreement. The difficulty lies in the fact that the DPRK cannot simply surrender their nuclear technology and then pull it back if the U.S. violates the agreement. But the U.S. can just pull back their sanctions as soon as they want to. So it's really up to the side of the South and the United States to make the first gesture. However, the United States doesn't feel that they should do so. They feel it's their way or the highway. And the DPRK should just simply acquiesce to everything that the U.S. makes a demand for. However, this is not how diplomacy works. This is not how international relations work. It is seemingly how they work under the eyes of U.S. imperialism, but the DPRK has certainly demonstrated with its nuclear weapons technology that it is capable of affirming its own position. And I think this demonstrates that there's a certain rift between how it is that the South wants to proceed and how the United States wants to proceed. The current South Korean president has a very strong mandate in promoting peace with the North and hopefully towards reunification. This seems to be something that people in the South want. They're very tired of constantly living with the threat of the North simply because the United States is enforcing that threat by occupying their country and continually using a warlike language and, frankly, economic warfare against the country. We definitely do see that there is a difference in strategy. South Korea wants to come in through a very definite, clear, and forward goodwill gesture towards the North, while the United States feels that a very heavy-handed, demanding approach is, well, frankly, the position that they have always had. And the U.S. is very specifically the one in this situation which is holding back the agreement from stepping forward, because they're the ones not willing to make a gesture towards peace or towards a further negotiation or to allow reciprocal acts from the DPRK.
Thank you very much for that, Jason Unruhe, political commentator, Ontario.